Hello and welcome to my channel. My name's Ali and in today's video I am going to make an effort to show the challenges and realities of owning some of the animals I own in a section called This Is Why I Don't Leave the House. Now I went out into my garden the other day and realised that my duck pond pump had stopped working for the bazillionth time and I couldn't fix it this time. It was completely broken and I realised it is time to dredge and clear this duck pond.
It is time.
Now I've had this duck pond for 12 years and I've only done this process once before, and that was 5 years ago, and that was pretty awful. Yeah, I was realising it's going to be a lot of hard work, but the first thing to do was to take the water out. Now I did this via bucket for the most of it. Eventually I did switch to a water pump, but the water pump was pretty rubbish. You had to turn it off every 20 seconds to let the water drain away and then turn it back on. So in reality it was probably taking longer than the buckets, but it was far less labour intensive for me. So I'll show you some footage of that now. Now, once that was done, we were left with the sludge and the mud, and this is a section that I like to call the bog of eternal stench. This stuff is disgusting.
What is it?
The bog of eternal stench!
Now, this stuff reminds me of the mud flats that you get around rivers and estuaries. It's a very similar smell. It smells like seaweedy and almost fishy. Not particularly pleasant, but very good fertilizer for trees and plants and things that I want to grow in the future. So I've put this all around my veggie patches and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it wasn't pleasant at all, and it's very heavy as well. So we removed this sludge by buckets. So it took 5 days, me doing it after work each day, and it was a total of 382 buckets of sludge, which I didn't really have any footage of us doing this because it was so disgusting. I didn't really want to handle my camera whilst actually physically getting the sludge and the mud out, but I have got some photos and videos of our progress as we went through. And then finally we got it all emptied and we filled it with water. At this point I was so happy that we had done it and so happy that it was over with, because honestly, even though I shower and bath after every single time I got the sludge out, so every time I finished for the day I would have a shower or I'd have a bath or I'd do both, I still smelt of pond afterwards. It was kind of gross. So yeah, not pleasant. Glad that part's over with. And then we refilled the pond with water. And the ducks really enjoy the new pond. I would say the pond water has gone green already, but that's to be expected in the summertime. It's what happens. But yeah, that's the process, and it is a very long process, and it was a very hard work. Now, as for the ducks, they loved the stage where it was all muddy. They fully was on board with getting in there and just getting covered in mud. They loved it. They loved sifting through the mud, but for me it wasn't pleasant at all. So if you have a small paddling pool or a small play pool for your ducks, and you have to change it every day or every few days, because otherwise it really starts to smell of ammonia. The larger the pond is, the less frequently you have to actually change it. But even so, it's a very hard work. This part of owning ducks is very hard work. It really is. It's messy, it's smelly, and it is extremely, I can't get over how much hard work it is. So if you are going to own ducks and geese and waterfowl in general, just be aware that, you know, the pond situation and cleaning the pond areas is never pleasant. It's really kind of disgusting, but needs to be done. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you've seen what it's like to actually have to empty one of these ponds. And yeah, I shall see you in another video soon. Goodbye for now.